Agent Tracy, I'm going to start first with this is 141 through 147.
Sure.
If you go to the 141,
Okay.
and how do you recognize this is 141 through 147?
These are the photographs that were taken at the Adams Drive address when we executed the search warrant.
And are those a fair, accurate depiction of the car as you found it at the Adams Drive location back in 2015?
Yes.
You're right. This time I say would like to send exhibit 141 to 147 into evidence.
You said 141?
I'm sorry, let me tell you, 141 echo to 147 echo.
All right. All right, any objection to states 141 through 141 echo?
Your Honor, as to 141, 142, and 143, I do pose an objection. I do not have an objection to the others. If you can look at them when you get a chance, they are photographs of a court document purportedly search warrant. That's all they are. The other ones are what's depicted in the garage. So that's why I'm objecting to the first three.
Can I see 141, 142, 143?
Yes, Your Honor. Agent Racy is here.
Your Honor. Thank you, sir. The courts can admit, because there's no objections to 144 echo, 145 echo, 146 echo, 147 echo. They're admitted may be published as you see fit. Detective Racy, or Agent Racy, I should say, I'm gonna hand you back states 141, 142, and 143 echo.
Sure.
When you were executing the search warrant, did you take those pictures?
I did, Your Honor.
Are those pictures of the search warrant that you left at the residence?
They are, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna admit them over your objection, Mr. Steele.
Your Honor, I understand application of that objection.
Yes, sir. Overruled.
Agent permission to publish 141
Yes,
through
and
147.
141 through 147 echo are all admitted to be published as you see fit.
Thank you. And Agent Racy, whichever one's easier for you, on the side or behind you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. First, looking at 141 echo, what did you capture in Stacey's 141 echo?
This is a photograph of the search warrant that we're required to leave on scene to show that we had legal permission. to be there and to do what we're doing, albeit blurry in that picture.
Okay. And looking at 142 Echo, is that the second page of your warrant?
Just the second page, correct.
All right. Looking at 143 Echo.
That's the back of those pages. And so that's just an inventory of the items that we seized, which we are required to leave on the scene upon executing the search warrant.
Okay. I'm looking at 144 Echo.
So that's just going to be a picture of the outside of the residence with the garage open and the vehicle there in the garage in question.
145 Echo.
Again, that's just a picture of the vehicle in question.
And is that the aunt standing by the door?
I believe it is, yes.
I'm looking at 146 Echo. Is that just the front of the vehicle?
Just the front of the vehicle. I was trying to take all around photos, but limited with space, so it's kind of awkward, but the front of the vehicle.
And why were you trying to take all around pictures of the vehicle?
Just documenting it in place as we're seizing it. Just to document it, but also claims of damage, claims of stuff. There's multiple reasons why we try to document items of value.
Okay. 147 Echo.
Just the license plate of the vehicle to document, obviously the identity of the vehicle, for lack of a better term, what vehicle we're seizing.
And is this the same license plate tag that came back to the individual you talked about, Paul, earlier in your testimony?
Correct. This license plate is registered to this vehicle, which the registered owner is Paul that I spoke about before.
And speaking about Paul and the jail calls that we've heard so far, were those individual calls or were those all one call with different times?
Those were separate calls, I believe, if that's what you're asking.
Yes. Once you found the vehicle at the home, what, if anything, did you do with the vehicle?
It was impounded. It was towed back to the Cobb County Police Headquarters garage that we have.
And why was it towed to Cobb County?
To better process it on scene in Cobb County versus trying to search it there at a residence.
And once the vehicle was towed back to Cobb County, what, if anything, did you do with the vehicle?
We executed a search warrant there at that location.
Why did you have to get another search warrant to go inside the vehicle?
We moved it from the jurisdiction of Fulton County into Cobb County. And so it's our regular practice just to author and have approval to search it in that location since we moved venues.
And do you recall how soon after it left from you finding it at the home to you taking it to Cobb County that you searched the vehicle?
I'm not sure if it was that night here as we're sitting here now. I would have had to have authored the search warrant again in Cobb County. So it might not have been that next night. It might have been like the following day.
And did anyone assist you with executing a search warrant on the vehicle?
Yes, I would have had the crime scene unit process it in the garage.
And when you execute the search warrant of the vehicle, did you take pictures of the car at that time?
The crime scene tech would have taken the pictures with me present, standing there.
I'm going to show you what I've shown the defense counsel speaks to with 148 Echo through 162 Echo. Tell me, flip through those, tell me if you recognize 148 Echo.
I recognize them.
And how do you recognize them?
It's in our evidence garage, and it's the same vehicle in question, and these are the photos that were taken there when we executed the search warrant at that location.
And are those a fair and accurate depiction of the pictures that you took back in 2015 when you processed this car?
Yes.
You're on this time of state license 148 Echo and 162 Echo.
Any objection to states 148 Echo through 162 Echo?
I do, Your Honor, I have. You know that first of all, you look at all that, then 157, 160, 161, and 162 are, writings.
That's it, please.
Your Honor.
Thank you. You said you wanted to approach, sir?
You have to understand, sir,
Did you say you wanted to approach?
if that's okay with the court.
Yeah, that's fine. Mr. Shield, council, any further objections to stage 148 echo through 162 echo at the various? Omit 160. Any further objection, public yield?
Not bad, Mr. Williams.
All right, so maybe it may be published as you see fit.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm first with our 148 echo. Now, looking at Stacy's exhibit 148 echo, where were these pictures taken?
That's 140 North Marietta Parkway in Marietta, Georgia. And that's in the evidence garage. Headquarters is now moved for Cobb County Police, but that's the old Cobb County Police headquarters evidence garage.
And as we're looking at 148, 149, and 150, did you take similar angles of the vehicle similar to what you did when the car was in the garage?
Yes, the crime scene tech would have, yes.
And is it for the same reason to, again, show that there's no dents or no other damages to the vehicle?
Yeah, and just document the vehicle fully as well, yes.
Okay, looking at 151. Okay, and 152, and then 153. What was significant about why you took or had the crime team take pictures of the inside of the vehicle?
So, we have a search warrant for the vehicle for evidence, not just the outside, but evidence potentially on the inside as well. And so we're gonna photograph the evidence if there is any evidence, or the vehicle itself, if that's evidence, as it's sitting presently when it was seized.
Was there anything of significance to you when you opened up and looked inside the vehicle?
So there were the floor mats were not present, and we could see kind of like lines in the on the carpet.
Why was that a note to you?
Well, it looked like the vehicle had been cleaned.
I'm looking at 154 Echo. Is that the same, taking picture of the interior and what you noticed?
That's correct.
155 Echo. And then 156 Echo. What was your purpose of going and looking inside the trunk of the vehicle?
Same thing, just looking if any evidence is back there. Here we find the floor mats that have been removed, and we start seeing some of the lines that, well, they'll look horizontal for us here, but if the floor mats were in the car, it'd be up and down lines.
157 Echo. Is that still further inside the vehicle?
That's correct. It's just the trunk, correct?
All right, and 158 Echo. Still the same, just inside of the car?
That's correct.
$159 Echo. Same thing?
Correct.
And I'm gonna ask you to look at your version of 160 Echo.
Okay.
Not telling me what it is, did you find paperwork in the vehicle with Mr. Winfrey's name on it?
I did.
Do you recall where in the vehicle you found that paperwork?
I think it was in the glove box. I'm not positive 100% as I sit here now at this moment.
And now looking at, 162.
162.
And that wasn't gonna come up on this. Is this additional paperwork you found inside the vehicle?
Correct.
And in looking at the complete document here, was this document in the name of a particular person?
Yeah, the complete document, yes.
Who?
Jimmy Winfrey.
Now, with the car, did you ever have the car processed for any fingerprints?
Yes.
Did having the car processed for fingerprints assist with your investigation at all?
No.
Did you ever have the car processed for gunshot residue?
Yes.
Did anything about the gunshot residue testing that you had done, did that assist in your investigation?
No.
Now, I want to go back. Why didn't either the fingerprints or the gunshot residue assist in your investigation?
Why did it? Or
Why did it not?
Why didn't it? I'm sorry. Okay. It didn't. So,
Sir,
I'm gonna object to this.
basis.
The Bullcoming case,
The what?
the Bullcoming case, BULLCOMING, confrontation clause.
Oral, sir.
so why it didn't help in the investigation?
Let me ask you this. When did you get the GSR test done?
It was following, obviously seizure of the vehicle, but I don't believe it was on the same night we processed it, on this date.
How much time passed?
Yes, sir, you may.
Yes.
Somehow it's this.
May I continue on?
Yes, you may.
How much time passed from the time that the shooting occurred to the time in which you processed the vehicle?
Weeks.
When you say weeks, let me ask you this, when was the shooting?
April 26th, 2015.
And we're looking at a copy of your police report, how professional it is when you executed the search warrant on the vehicle.
It would have been in June, but I can look at my police report.
If you turn over to state to the 171.
88, ma'am. Okay.
Did it have refresh your memory as to when you executed the search warrant on the vehicle?
Yes.
Excuse me, let me be clear, the search warrant at Cobb County Police Department.
Yes.
When did you execute the search warrant at Cobb County Police Department?
June 12th.
So is that approximately about a month, a little more than a month from the time of the shooting to the time you processed the vehicle?
It's fair to say a month and a half. Correct. Yeah.
Given your experience with this, previous to any of your investigations, have you ever tried to obtain gunshot residue testing?
No.
Why not?
Cobb County Police Department has a policy.
You have objection, sir?
Thank you.
Basic.
Foundation, 1, 2, relevant.
I'll move those objections on both grounds. Objection on the grounds of bolstering. Oh, sir, that was Mr. Matthews. Yes, Mr. Sharp.
Your Honor, this gentleman is not, to my knowledge, not an expert in gunshot residue. And, it sounds like he's about to render an expert opinion.
You can object accordingly. I'm up for the objection for now.
You go to file.
Cobb County Police Department has a policy to not do gunshot residue tests. We don't have any gunshot residue test kits, but I was requested to do so in this case.
And given that it was about 2 months between, or almost 2 months, when you actually had the test done, did you expect to find GSR?
Objection on relevance.
I stand down, y'all.
Why is it with Cobb County that they don't do GSR?
Objection on speculation.
And I'll go back to my original question. Did anything about doing the fingerprint test or the GSR test assist you in your investigation?
Objection, yes, ma'am.
I stand objection.
I want to take you to June 13th. Did you list any additional jail calls in this case?
I did.
I'm going to play for you, listen to a call from June 13th. Looking at the exhibit that's on the stand, what's the date and time of this call?
June 13th, 2015 at 17:39, which is 5:39 p.m.
Yeah, because
Yeah, you on the phone right now.
what's up, Willie? Yeah, I was trying to click over on that three-way. I got that cheap ass phone. I'm gonna have to go buy a new one when I get the cash. This shit ain't working on three-way. But I'm in the street apart right now. I'm getting off all that stuff. You stay on the phone. I'm gonna call I'm gonna call him. What's the number? 583. What's the number? Hold on. 44583-1990.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I just checked. So you want to call
Yeah, they at Creel Park. I'm here that night. Neighborhood Free Rock. I know that. What's up, nigga? We out here, nigga. Campaign going strong, man. I got my back room, my outfit on right now, man. Ask your mama. Okay. Where you at?
Yeah.
Dial that number. That 583.
Hold on, let me call.
All of it.
You want? All right, hold on. Hello.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Who is it? Hello? 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 Hey, hurry up and
I'm on the phone. Let's see if that's you on hold.
I ain't white. I'm supposed to cover with y'all. Hold on, I'm gonna get a cup.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
You did. Hello?
You just found like little rude neighborhood.
Turn it.
I'm not in your motherfucking room. You know what I'm saying? I wish you would be right there.
I know it turned up right now. I know y'all having no ball, man. We ain't doing shit. I'm high as a motherfucker just holding me down. I say I ain't doing shit, just high, man, sitting right here holding it down. You dig what I'm saying? Turn it. Yeah, no, hey, man. Motherfucker, the talk of the country, kid. You handling your motherfucking B.I.J. Ooh, man. Yeah, motherfucker, baby. I know it, Big B, with a big C, you understand? Man, I know y'all bitches turn.
Ain't no few nothing. These for 5, 600 D, he for 1,000 D.
I know it. They tucked up like that. Folks out there like that, Joe. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't doing no motherfucker. Hold it down for me the way I know you. You got to turn up. I done called everybody. They popping the bed. You know, I took over the motherfucking IG. That's what my fucking brother. I ain't doing shit. Man. I know y'all light up. You did fight. You know that nigga smoke one for me, man. You did what I'm saying. I know y'all turned. Y'all bitch turned up right there. Man, tell everybody I love them. Yeah, we coming back. All right.
You called at the right time, did you?
Yeah.
What's going on, Scotty?
Man, holding it fucking down. You dig what I'm saying? They said it's a gangster holiday out there, man. I had to call and send my condolences and my respect. You dig what I'm saying? Give a fuck if I'm under a rock.
Yeah, we fucking fuck you, nigga.
No, man, you know that. Yeah, this is the first one on. You know,
we can't go nowhere. I had overheard somebody say we can't go nowhere. We weren't allowed. I'm just gonna pull up in there. Good.
Man, you don't know. When I say you global, we ain't talking global imports. We mean international, man. Passports tattooed the fuck up. Ghetto to ghetto, city to city, coast to coast, like neighborhood but a tote, man. Yeah, too strong to be approached, you dig what I'm saying? Yeah, we're wrong with them little dig. Yeah, you spinning like a ceiling fan everywhere. Yeah. Oh, man, what? Yeah. Man, I've been afraid we been Indian folks there. Shit. Yeah, you definitely doing it. I said, let me call my brother, man. Y'all turn. Well, we get on the business side. Eat it up. Eat it up. No bullshit. I just got my ass up, man. I was tired of here, boy. I slept in that 2 days, dog. I said, I'm going fucking. Yeah. Yeah, man, got a Russell campaign going on, dude. Hey, man, I know one thing about my motherfucking bro. When he do it, he gonna do it. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, only right. Man, I know you're doing it too, man. You get crushed down. Everybody, I told everybody. I said, you crushed. I told everybody who said free Russell, everybody who said free Russell, they get it. I'm putting them on my page. Make sure I get it.
This is some powerful.
Yeah, don't spam, man. Don't got spare tires in the trunk. Tell them, man, we ain't spare tire in the trunk, man. I forgot you ride rough flat, man. Your tire don't get flat. Yeah, you can still ride. Hey, man. Hey, man, when I get out, man, go and see my appointment up at Dr. Jeffrey Jones. Yeah, I'm coming like slime. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, man. You gonna drop? I might drop it. Man, we already know we dropping a bomb on these. I might drop it this week.
What do you guys think about that?
It's already blocked.
Yeah.
What they told me last night.
Nobody didn't know what it was.
By 4 more days. I'm gonna do that free Russell campaign for like 5 phone. All day, every video, every picture I say free Russell. All day, we're gonna do a fact. Then we're gonna drop that bitch. Bob. What's your name?
Bob, sit down. Don't get out the fucking way.
You need to call.
I'm out.
So we can see, I can get you recorded so you can just stop this shit on the front, on top of the car.
Okay, you did what the fuck I'm saying. Yeah, I gotta call cell phone direct how I did, so y'all can accept this shit.
Yeah, you gotta do it. So we definitely need to.
Well, shit, man. I love y'all, nigga, man. I was calling, checking on y'all, nigga. I'm finna, the shit got 60 seconds left. I'm gonna hang up and call y'all back. I know y'all nigga balling, man. You know, I'm right here with your fucking ass. You dig what I'm saying? I'm on you like you fucking bricks, nigga. You hear me?
Let's do it, man.
I love y'all, nigga, man.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, come.
You hear me?
Yes, I love you too.
All right, bet. You did.
Wow.
What's that, Jack? I'm gonna do with that fucking love you call. You putting on, you do the fuck up thing. You did. I know my motherfucking nigga was out there. The hell did you talking about? You did with the fuck up. Hell did you talking about? I already did know. Well, I love y'all. Now I'm gonna call y'all back by. Huh?
Yeah, call back with the cancel, so I love you.
I love you, man.
Now, in hearing that call, did you hear the phone number in which the person was supposed to dial to get to this phone call?
Yes.
What was the phone number?
I believe it was the 404-583-1990.
And is that the same phone number that's calling Mr. Winfrey multiple times of the bus shooting?
Yes, it was back and forth that night leading into this.
Now, did you come to learn who was the male individual that, the phone was passed to on this phone call?
I probably have to refer to my report. I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Do you need to look in? You just need to direct the page 103.
Okay.
Application part of objection, Your Honor, and here's it. Consider that. Objections, just refreshing. Question two, did he learn who was that individual? How was the original? Still on the objection, Mr. Steele.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question before.
Can't get a question.
I didn't pose it yet. As it relates to the Free Roscoe campaign, did you hear him talking about the Free Roscoe campaign?
I did.
In talking about the Free Roscoe campaign, through the course of your investigation, did you ever find an individual who launched the Free Roscoe campaign?
I did.
Okay. Who was that individual?
Jeffrey Williams.
And how did you learn, did you pull that information from social media?
Correct.
And in that call, was Mr. Winfrey speaking with someone who talked about this Free Roscoe campaign?
Yes.
At the time of this call, were you familiar at all with Mr. Williams' voice?
Yes.
And in listening to the call, were you able to determine who that person is that Mr. Winfrey is speaking to on this call?
Yes.
Who?
Jeffrey Williams.
The female that answered the call first, did you ever identify or learn who that person was?
At the 1990 phone number?
Yes.
I believe it's going to be one of Jeffrey Williams' relatives, female relatives, a sister.
Do you know which one, or just know which one of his relatives, one of his sisters?
It's the last name is Greer.
I want to take you to June 28th. Jail call. For the record, what is the date and time of this call?
June 28th, 2015 at 15:27 hours. So that's 3:27 hours. Or PM, excuse me. 3:27 PM.
In the morning, he said he did all the stuff he supposed to do. He emailed these people, called these people, but he figured that Monday morning when he gonna probably hear something.
Who you heard that from? Hey, call Manny for me.
I heard that from Byron.
Call Manny, then call. You talked to OJ, or nephew?
No, I talked to Amina, and I told her.
What she say?
I thought she want to call her when you on the phone.
Call her right now.
Hold on. What's up?
What's going on, Jack? I ain't doing shit. These people put me in 23 and 1, but I'm supposed to be getting out of here in a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
But my lawyer came and talked with me, and they indicted me and got me 30 charges.
You said he what?
I said I talked with my lawyer. They came to see me. The people indicted me on the 25th, and they gave me 30 charges, like 15 counts of aggravated assault, street gang, all that bullshit. Did my lawyer call you?
You said, did who? The lawyer?
Yeah.
Nah, but my traffic attorney, Kevin, said that his friend, like, well, his best friend is your attorney.
Yeah, what did he say? Is he a good attorney?
Yeah, well, I know Kevin is great, so I'm assuming that his friend is good too.
Yeah, so I got to get the people on 40 or 50 grand. He wanted 100, but I told him I got to work out a payment plan with him. So I was going to try to borrow 25 from y'all, and then I was going to, because I got a little money from the insurance left that my uncle left me, and I was going to give him the other 25 that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when I was telling the nephew, they pulled me out. They made me come to PC, and shit with the DA, all them people trying to come up here and fuck with a motherfucking message. I ain't said none of that. So I'm just shit. But my lawyers came and seen me and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the lawyer is Manny and Lauren Zimmerman killed, boy.
What's his name?
Lauren Zimmerman and Manny Aurora. And the dude clear Lauren. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It's just keep on calling my phone.
Yeah, but if they can't do it, just let me know, and I just have to go my way about my auntie.
All right, Lawrence Zimmerman, I can see.
Manny is the man who, that I be dealing with, because I deal with.
Who is it? Manny?
Manny Aurora, he's number 445789444.
57890 what?
9444.
44. And who is he?
That's Manny Aurora. That's my lead attorney, the guy that I always deal with. That's he's going to give me a better understanding. You know what I mean? Because Lawrence is going to be a book. And when I told my lawyer, everybody be on the same page. But shit, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't going to call nobody while I'm up here.
Right.
They try to put me in PC to make it look like they been all over there. Man, folk playing outside game. They come get me at 4, 5 in the morning. Ask me, do I want to talk with you? I said, I can't talk to nobody without my lawyer. So they left me up here for 3, 4 days, and I only get to come out an hour a day.
Yeah, they doing that so also so it's hot profile anytime, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know that, but the only time you go in PC is when you fill out the forms and ask for that, you know?
Yeah, that is the way it is.
It's just a mind game.
I don't know. Yeah, it's probably so.
Yeah.
And to make everybody else get nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, why he in PC? Why he, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think other people start getting nervous too. So,
Yeah.
So.
They ain't know the mind game they playing. Yeah. So I was just letting motherfuckers know what was going on. Shit, my sister, she had called Duke phone to let him know what was going on. I'm just dealing with this shit, but hopefully my lawyer, I probably got him in a couple of days, because the colonel, the person running the jail, the person that made me come to PT, Colonel Prince, and she don't want to allow me to get out of here. And my lawyer said, so shit, I'm just dealing with this shit day by day. I went tripping being by myself, and motherfucker get closer to God. And, I read the indictment papers, man, and shit, all some bullshit. He say, she say.
Mm-hmm.
So shit, we just waiting, and I might go to court, because I was going to court on the 30th, so I'm not going to court. It might be 3, 4 months, so we're gonna rush for the speedy trial. So shit, I just sit back and see what happens with it.
It is so crazy.
But I was just letting you know what was going on. So.
All right. So, what do y'all want me to do? Call these people?
You can call Manny at the Manny or my sister, and if any the Manny and Manny gonna go to Lawrence because both is 3 attorneys.
Okay.
And them motherfuckers, man, that shit crazy. They indicted me with 30 charges, street criminal gang and all that shit. So Manny was like, like I was telling you, how they try to make it like YSL. This shit is an enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
I might need to drop a paper saying, that I work, which is right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Okay.
So it don't make
I got a little puppy.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, man, everything.
I'm here. Thank you. All right. I'm gonna call him. He's out of town, but as soon as he gets back, then I'll let him know what's going on, and then just give us a call. Sit down, yeah.
All right, if you don't mind, you can give Manny a call today or tomorrow just to let him talk to me and touch bases. So they don't think a motherfucker playing on the financial end.
I'm gonna call him today.
All right, I appreciate you. I'll call you tomorrow.
I got you, though.
Days. I see my lawyer or my sister call you and keep you posted with everything. I really
all right, hold your head.
No question. Keep me.
All right, thank you. I will. And I still try to come up if I can. If you can't get busy still or no?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I'm gonna come up.
But I'm gonna try to wait to get back to population. I do all that shit.
Okay, then.
All right, thank you, love. At 11 o'clock, I push my time back. Yeah. But Carl Duke on there indicted me. When that shit was I got 30 motherfucking charges.
What, they run it back? Oh, they ran it back.
Yeah. That must be on some shit like.
No, sorry.
They like the same charges over and over. I got 12 aggravated assault. They been counting the number of people and shit. Yeah. Yeah, I got whatever racketeering there. I got 3 or 4 of those. Then I got street criminal gang. I got my YSL enterprise of the street gang. But I got paper. I work for YSL. I work with them. So man, I'm gonna roll them. Yeah, got turned all about the little bird, man, Lil Wayne lawsuit, all that bullshit. Yeah. That was going on. So my lawyer said it'll be a minute before I go to court. I'm gonna wait for a speedy trial. So yeah, so we so the thing ain't cool. And then another thing, we let Amina know they got paperwork up in black and white showing, that I work for the company. That's not gonna look like street business.
Okay.
This is damning. This recording is damning.
Now, listening
evidence.
to that call, a couple of questions. Did you hear him reference an individual named Amina?
Yes.
Okay. And had at this time Amina come up in your investigation?
Yes, and the subscriber records.
And for what records was she the subscriber on?
It was the 1990, and there was the other phone number, 95. The other one's leaving me at the moment. But yes, 2 of the AT&T records that came back as YSL Enterprises. She was the registered party.
And at the time, were you aware of what her role is or was with YSL back in 2015?
No, at that moment, I didn't understand what her role was. No.
Did you learn of her role with YSL?
Eventually.
What was that?
So she's kind of like, I guess, the person running the legitimate business side.
And in that call, did you hear Jimmy Winfrey ask Amina to get him on some paperwork?
Yes.
Was that significant to your investigation?
Sure, absolutely.
Why?
Well, the last statement he said kind of sums it up. He needs paperwork to make it look legitimate and not in his words, street stuff. So he was trying to legitimize his association with YSL.
And in listening to the call, did Mr. Winfrey mention that he had read his indictment prior to making this phone call?
Yes, correct.
And at the time, do you know what he was charged with in the indictment?
Yes, of course.
What were the charges that he was charged with?
So he was charged with 12 counts of aggravated assault. He was
Sure, I would object. Basis. It's, hearsay, the indictment itself is hearsay.
Sorry, go ahead.
So what the question was, what were the charges in the indictment? He was correct. There was 12 counts of aggravated assault. There was RICO charges. There were Street Gang Terrorism Act charges based on those predicate acts. And I think there was a domestic terrorism charge in there as well.
And with the street gang charge, do you know what gang he was being charged with being affiliated with?
Yes.
What gang is it?
YSL.
Your Honor, that's, you know. What's your objection, sir? A is wrong, but B is hearsay.
It is this statement of the document.
I didn't hear this.
What's your objection
basis,
Mr.
Sharp?
This statement of the document, the indictment does not say that.
I didn't. You're right. My question didn't ask what the indictment said. I asked him, would hear about what gang he was being charged with.
overruling objection, sir.
What gang?
So
Wow.
the gang, ultimately, the subset is YSL.
Ultimately, that wasn't what was presented to the jurors.
And you use it.
No, they're right. This they might have to ask for mistrial now. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Did you hear what just happened just now? So when Miss Hilton asks the agent about the indictment, you can make the inference that they were referring to, she asked him, what gang was he affiliated with? He says YSL. Well, that was not in that indictment on Pee Wee Roscoe. He later followed up, this agent, in this same line of questioning, and said, ultimately, that was the gang. They didn't know it before. Or maybe they did know it. I don't know. I have a little problem with that. And if it's not in the indictment, well, with street gang, it would have to be in the indictment. What gang would they associate him with? Or are they just saying street gang? Wouldn't they have to establish that there's some type of gang that he's affiliated with? So I don't know. I don't know if we are. It's just when he said it, I felt it as well. It felt like something shouldn't have gotten in there. If it's not the indictment would speak for itself. If it's not mentioned in an indictment, is that still fair game? Because he is the agent that is part of the investigation. This line of questioning is problematic for the defense. The audio that was just played, where you hear Roscoe, Pee Wee Roscoe, talking to one Thug's sister, and then asking Thug's sister to get some paperwork so they can legitimize who he is, and he's tied to a company. That's a problem with Thug. And I also saw that D.A. Hilton was asking that, was asking the agent, did Thug say on the call that he read the indictment? Because what they're trying to show is a correlation between Thug reading the indictment and his homeboy Roscoe having been charged with a RICO and criminal street gang, 12 counts of aggravated assault. So this is interesting. They're sending the jurors out right now because this is about to get intense. Jurors,
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our jury has left us and our witness is Still outside. Agent Reese. Okay, all right. And since our tech died at the bench, that's just old school. All right, so State, I think you were about to respond to Mr. Steele's assertions about the indictment and YSL being a
Street gang. No, not being a street.
our witness testifying about them being a criminal street gang.
Yes, Your Honor. So first, there was the assertion that Investigator Racy had to be a expert to talk about the fact that his investigation led that YSL is a gang. That he does not need to be an expert. That is what his investigation revealed. Within the indictment, Your Honor, while the specific charge identified the blood gang, when you look at the preamble or the background of this indictment, especially the RICO charge, it talks about YSL and YSL being a blood gang subset. And my next question I was getting ready to pose to him before the objection is, you said subset. Tell me, what do you mean? So he could have elaborated as to what was contained further in the indictment, which was in the charge it says blood gang. However, he knew and learned from his investigation that YSL was a gang. Why is this important? If you listen to this call,
that's
Your
a
Honor,
problem. That's a problem.
he talks about in the indictment that it said YSL Enterprise. And so at that moment, he asked Amina to put him on the paperwork. So it looks like, well, he tells her, I need you to put me on the paperwork. And then later on, he tells his girlfriend, remember to tell Amina, put me on the paperwork so it doesn't look like street business. And so what I have to get the witness to testify and the jury can believe or not is, well, what did you understand it to be before? And why is that significant that he needed to be placed on paperwork so it can look like it's not street business?
Yeah, I remember us talking about this last week. So,
and so it puts the call in context, and that's why we went into that line of questioning.
Anything further, Mr. Steele first, and then Mr. Short?
Yes.
Because I did cover this last week. We covered this already. So,
Your Honor, I don't understand how Mr. Williams is having a trial that's fair.
I'm sorry.
I don't understand, from my perspective, Mr. Williams is not having a fair trial. I cannot cross-examine Mr. Winfrey. Now, this witness is telling us what he means by having things not look like street items.
Shit.
Whatever.
I remember.
Okay.
Okay. So,
I don't understand how any of this is coming in. Amina Diak is not a witness that the state is calling at all. I don't have a burden, you keep telling me, which I know the law, but you keep telling me that, but it feels like I have a burden because I have to clean all this mess up. And
if you choose to do so, sir,
and
that's your your characterization of it. So
the indictment, quote unquote, redacted, is a farce. This thing has, I don't know if you looked at your copy, there's blanks here that identify Jeffrey Williams. I mean, you'd have to be a deceased person not to realize that the indictment is charging Jeffrey Williams in it. And the state just goes on like, this is no big deal. You know, I have a big deal. This entire case should have witnesses who are competent to be cross-examined, and they don't. I again object. This gentleman is testifying. He has no basis in saying what Jimmy Winfrey meant or didn't mean. The recording, because of your ruling, speaks for itself. He shouldn't be able to interpret it, just like I can't interpret it. And it was never even done. What the jurors won't know is that Amina Diab didn't give any paperwork at all. In fact, what they don't know is that Jeffrey Williams, because the state won't probably play it, a recording with Jeffrey Williams where this detective asked Jeffrey Williams, does Jimmy Winfrey work for you as your road manager? And Mr. Williams laughs and said, are you ridiculous? I have real legitimate people. So all of this is the state of Georgia getting out a theory that is not based in fact, and it should not come into this courtroom.
He's right.
Since the state has been allowed to say Does this help the investigation? This case has gone south. Maybe it was south already, but it has gone so south, I can't do anything. Those are all my objections. I'm moving for a mistrial. I have no idea why this gentleman got to say Amina Diak works on the legitimate side of the business.
And ladies
We're
and gentlemen,
presumed innocent. He has no right to say that.
that's right.
And then this indictment is all hearsay under the Brown case, State versus Brown, which the Honorable Court agreed with, yet the state's using the indictment as a weapon. They're saying it says it in the indictment. Mr. Winfrey played Alford. He's not testifying. You let it in as a statement against his penal interest. Well, that's only against him. He's not on trial. It can't be a co-conspirator statement because it is a statement that does not further any supposed conspiracy because it spills the beans. So for all of those reasons, I mean, we could just use one, but for all of those reasons, I named 3, 4, 5, or 6. I'm respectfully asking the court to strike all of his testimony that goes into anything anyone else said and the investigation, and let's wipe this slate clean. And please, I just want to go forward and have people to cross-examine.
This is the second time you've made the same argument, sir. I understand it. It's your right to do so. All right. Unless you have anything else, Mr. Sharp.
Wow. This is a problem. You can't cross-examine.
Of course, I agree with what Mr. Steele just said about Jimmy Winfrey's
Right, you can't cross-examine him. He needs to be inside.
coming in as evidence against the rest of us when he is not taking the stand.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to go one further than Mr. Steele because in their line of questioning, they are asking about the indictment that Jimmy Winfrey pled to. And the jurors are following what they're talking about. They're asking about the indictment, the plea. And then they say, and what gang was involved? And then the investigator's going to say YSL when we can all look at this indictment, which shouldn't be coming into evidence in my estimation. But if we're going to let it in over our objection, at least let's be honest about what it says.
Absolutely.
It doesn't say YSL.
It doesn't.
He pled to the count.
The preamble say YSL?
He pled to.
Does the preamble say YSL?
Preamble?
Does the preamble?
Come on,
Answer my
Judge.
question, please.
Judge, come on, Judge.
Sure, the preamble does, but not
Okay,
the
all right.
count.
So you
Not
have to
the
read.
counts that he
Okay,
pled to.
you have to read the preamble in conjunction with the
Your Honor, he pled
with the
to
counts.
specific
It's just
counts.
like it's similarly situated to the preamble that you have in this
Okay,
indictment.
but he pled to specific counts, Your Honor.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that the factual
Come on,
predicate
Judge,
of
Judge.
the preamble doesn't apply, right?
Well, I suggest.
Does it apply or not?
I disagree with you completely.
Does it apply or not?
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
It does not. He pled to specific counts.
Yes.
And,
Okay.
and the state really missed an opportunity because they should have made this indictment 3 times as long, and they could put the whole story, the whole narrative in this document that we are not defending ourselves against, and we cannot cross-examine.
That's
and
right.
They could have put it even more in front of the jury.
That's right.
Okay, all right. Your second argument as to this as well. Okay, anything else, Ms. Hilton?
Your Honor, I think the state has said it. Given the jail call that we just listened to, Mr. Winfrey himself referenced the indictment and referenced him reading of it. And so all of my questions followed through based upon that jail call. Given that this was an open pending investigation at the time that this jail call was made, this is relevant areas of what was relevant to Agent Racy at the time where he heard this jail call, which is there was an indictment, it was open, and now in the midst of his investigation, Mr. Winfrey is asking to be put on the paperwork. We can infer it's the legitimate side of the business. Now, if Mr. Steele wants to argue that Ms. Diop was not a part of the legitimate business, they've been arguing throughout this entire trial that YSL is a music label. So that would be the legitimate side of the business. If their argument is no longer that doesn't exist, then we can move on. But for the purpose of this call references him trying to get put on paperwork so it doesn't look like street business. Paperwork, legitimate; street business, not legitimate. And so we are trying, this became relevant to him, Your Honor. And given all the reasons that we have stated before, this wasn't spilling the beans. This was him trying to cover the conspiracy, which was him shooting at the bus involving, Mr. Dwayne Carter. So for all the reasons stated, Your Honor,
All right.
we would ask that you said overrule the objection.
I'm going to overrule the objection, Mr. Steele. I will give you a continuing objection. I'm going to note that you've moved for mistrial once again. I'll also note that you have asked the court for a mistrial again before the positing of the next question. So with that,
I'm joining that motion for mistrial, and also I'm asking you, is granting that continuing objection, are you granting it to all of us?
the Harvey rule applies unless otherwise stated. So it would apply for all of you. The motion for mistrial as well as the continuing objection.
I'll ask for a motion to sever parties then.
Okay, I'm going to deny that motion at this point in time,
Or
sir.
105 instruction.
And I will deny that as well at this time. Okay, can we call?
Guys, I'm sorry. Can we ask the court to give move to strike the testimony regarding legitimate side of the business because the
No, sir.
that is a consideration for the jury.
No, sir, I'm not gonna strike that at this point in time.
Before we call the jury, I know the court is recessed for the evening, but the attorneys have a quick cover, at least this attorney has a quick cover.
Yes, you may. Yes, all of you can have a comfort break. Why don't we take 10 minutes? Okay, all right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I had to send a tweet out because this is getting fired up. So what just happened? Well, when the detective was testifying, uh, it appears that it's in the preamble. However, to tell these jurors, one, that his interpretation of the what was happening in that indictment was essentially stating that Roscoe was a part of YSL. Well, here's the problem here. If he's asking Amina Diop, who is an industry veteran that I've known for years, to write a letter, well, that'll mean she fulfilled his request. He's just asking that. That don't mean she's fulfilling his request, especially in light of the fact that she knows this guy is facing a RICO case. Why would she incriminate herself or put herself in uh, legal jeopardy to write him a letter while he's saying all this on a jail call? Doesn't make sense. And Brian Still stated to the court that she never wrote a letter anyway. And Amina Diop, I don't know if that's his real sister. I don't think Amina's his real sister. I don't believe that's his real sister. Uh, I have no reason to believe that's his real sister, so I don't know why they're saying that, but we have to see. Well, not that they're doing all the work. Someone said that uh, Still and Short are doing all the work. Well, they're doing work for their respective clients. I mean, when it's time for the other attorneys to, and then don't forget Mr. Maxwell. He also objected, and the Harvey rule is in effect, meaning if there's an objection, uh, the judge will invoke the Harvey rule. And they also gotta put it on record, not just assume that the Harvey rule is always in effect. They gotta object. They gotta put it on record. They gotta make sure the court reporter takes it down, and then it's on record. I don't know if it's me, but it does seem like Judge Glanville is really not uh sustaining many of Mr. Short's objections. But we have to see. I don't know. As soon as he says something, no. It's overruled. 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 But we'll see. We have to see. Since the court started early, I think this might be a breaking point. They're arguing the motion. This is the high point of the day, and I think if the judge keeps with his pattern, this will probably be the end of the day, and the jurors will come start fresh tomorrow. We'll see, but my guesstimation is that's what's going to happen next. Just stand by. Oh, I forgot to mention that not only did they, and you guys saw this, Mr. Sharp, excuse me, Mr. Still wants Jeffrey Williams' case to be severed because this is ridiculous. If they can't at least cross-examine or examine Mr. Winfrey, Roscoe Dash. then there's a problem. Not Roscoe Dash, Pee Wee Roscoe, not Roscoe Dash. Pee Wee Roscoe. Roscoe Dash is another rapper, but Pee Wee Roscoe. Vanderveer. It doesn't work like that, but I get it. Teamwork makes the dream work, but also one person could also ruin it for everyone else. So, say for example, if the judge is on Mr. Short's neck, and him and Adams object, and the judge overrules because Short is there. Not to say the judge would do that, but you just make your independent objections and let the judge rule respectively and for what reason.
Collect your thoughts and take your seats, please. All right, councils, I'm given the latency, I'm not going to go much longer, so we'll wrap it up, okay? All right. Okay, about 15 minutes?
Yeah, I can finish asking the questions as it relates to this, sorry. I can finish asking the questions as it relates to this phone call, and then before I go into the next call, that could be a good stopping point.
All right.
Around.
Okay, can we summon our witness, please? All right, Sergeant Ingram, do we have everybody present that we need, sir?
Yes, sir. Everybody's present.
Okay, summon our jurors, please. Try to pause and look at your honor. Thank you. What just calling it? All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All right, thank you, Sergeant Ingram. All right, madam, you may continue with the examination.
Now, I think before the break, you had said that YSL was a subset. Is that what you said?
It is a criminal subset, correct? Yes.
Okay, and what is it a criminal subset of?
The Bloods.
Okay.
Same objection, you don't have to continue.
Yes, you may have a continuing objection. No rule, sir.
Now, as relates to what you heard on this phone call, did you ever, through your investigation, get any type of paperwork with Jimmy Winfrey on it?
Objection, Your Honor.
As
Basis.
out,
I'll sustain the objection. You may rephrase, madam.
as it relates to Mr. Winfrey working for YSL Enterprises of Business, did you ever get, through your investigation, any paperwork purporting that he worked for the business or for the company?
I don't believe so. No.
In the call, did you hear Mr. Winfrey reference being in PC?
Yes.
Are you familiar with that term?
Yes.
What is PC?
Protective custody. In terms of in being in a jail, it's protective custody.
And do you know why he was in protective custody?
No, that's up to the sheriff's office. It could just be because the. Yeah,
I sustain the objection.
So if you don't know why.
don't know.
Outside of Mr. Winfrey talking about having to get on the paperwork, was there anything else of significance for you on this call?
I mean, just his statement at the end, kind of summarizing why he needed the paperwork, was significant to me.
All right.
But he never got it. He never got the paperwork.
And Your Honor, I think that is my last question as it relates. I think you may have said this, but if not, why was it significant for you in your investigation? I'm sorry, I think you may have, but if you didn't, why was that line significant for you in your investigation?
I sustain the objection.
I think those are all my questions for that.
For this evening.
For this evening, yes,
Okay,
Your
all
Honor.
right. Ladies and gentlemen, and we have reached a natural stopping point for today, given the hour is almost 5:15. So what I'd like to do is recess you all until tomorrow morning. As indicated earlier, we will start tomorrow at 1:00, but you all need to be here for 12:30 for an anticipated 1:00 start time to accommodate one of your member who has an event tomorrow morning. So that's what we'll do. Detective, if we could get you to come back for tomorrow, our story, especially if we can get you to come back tomorrow for 12:30, sir. Let's just say 12:45. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that'd be wonderful. All right, sir, I'm going to release you for the evening. Please don't discuss your testimony with anybody except the attorneys in this case, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, any ministerial inquiry with me?
You did mention that you would give us the schedule for the rest of the month.
I did.
Come on, Judge. You did, Judge. You did say that. And time to deliver, sir. Okay, take out the pen and paper, and let's write down these dates.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Wednesday the 15th, we have tomorrow. You know that you'll be coming tomorrow for 12:30 for an anticipated 1 o'clock start time. We're going to work till probably a little before 5. On Wednesday, the 15th of May, you'll report for 9:30 for an anticipated 10 o'clock start time. Thursday, the 16th, same thing. You'll report for a 9:30 for anticipated 10 o'clock start time. We'll work the majority of the day. And then on Friday, the 17th, this coming Friday, you'll report for 8:30 for an anticipated 9 o'clock start time. We're going to work until about 1 o'clock on this coming Friday. You will have an administrative week next week, as I mentioned to you earlier. That would be the 20th through the 24th, is of course going to take up some unrelated business to you all. And then the 27th will be Memorial Day. Of course, that is a holiday for all of us. We will commence again on the 28th. You'll appear at 9:30 for an anticipated 10 o'clock start time. We'll work the rest of the day. And then the 29th, Wednesday, you'll report for 9:30 for an anticipated 10 o'clock start time. The 30th, 9:30 for an anticipated 10 o'clock start time. And then Friday, the 31st of May, you will appear for 12:30 for an anticipated 1 o'clock start time. We'll work to 5 o'clock. So that completes the rest of the month.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, we'll kind of handicap the first couple weeks of July and, of June, closer to the end of the month. Okay. All right. Okay, any further inquiry of me, ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's go ahead and review your admonitions, or which we know you all are continuing to adhere to, and we really appreciate that. So remember to leave your notepads in a basket in the back. Do not converse about what you have heard today in court with each other as you kind of are coming and going wherever it is you are and whatever means of conveyance that you're using. Also, if any third party should try and talk with you about this case inside your presence or hearing, either in person or by email or any other means or mode of conveyance, you need to let myself and Sergeant Ingram know immediately. Remember that you are not permitted to listen to any news accounts of this particular trial. You cannot go to any third-party websites or any other sources to augment your understanding of what you have heard within this particular courtroom. Remember, you can only consider what's lawfully presented within the four walls of this courtroom. You're also not permitted, as you're sitting back there waiting on us, to start to handicap this proceeding, such as, let's start talking about some of the witnesses that we've heard, or let's talk about this particular witness we have on the stand. Remember, that would be a violation. You're not to engage in any deliberative process until such time as this case is probably presented to you and the court gives you instructions on how you're to do that. So that would be a violation if you were to do that. Remember, don't go visiting the sites that you may have learned about during this particular process. And then lastly, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience that you've given us and will continue to give us throughout this matter. And unless you have any other ministerial inquiry of me, I'll go ahead and recess you till tomorrow, 12:30 for anticipated 1 o'clock start time. Okay? All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all rise.
You in the comment section. All rise.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our jury has left us. Okay, anything I need to cover with you all for tomorrow morning?
Just very quickly, Your Honor. For the record, Your Honor, the state would like to tender State's Exhibit 140 Echo Alpha. This is the CD with the full recording of the jail calls that we've played so far.
I thought I introduced that. You already introduced that. I admitted it as 140 Alpha, the full call, and then the redaction is 140 Echo Bravo.
I didn't think we admitted the full calls.
You did.
Oh, we did? Okay.
You did. I went ahead and admitted that set of full call. But I called it 140 Alpha.
Yeah, it's 140 Echo Alpha is the full call, and Echo Bravo are the redacted calls.
All right. Anything further, Ms. Hilton?
Not for this.
Okay, Mr. Matthews, you stood to rise a second ago, or you good? Okay, anybody else? Have anything we need to take up before tomorrow that's going to require me to, or for us to come early?
We discussed, when the court says it's appropriate, the Jimmy Winfrey guilty plea redaction over objection. When you can, I know it's just going in and not going to be discussed at some point.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's going to go back with the jury anyway, so it's going to be redacted, but is there anything else I need to kind of cover about it?
No, it does not get mentioned, it's not get read, it doesn't go back to the jury. I'm still objecting to it coming in at all, but I feel much better about it. I'm not waiving any objection, but I feel better because then I have to deal with the words in the language of count 1 and 2. For the count 1.
Your Honor.
Records in count 5 and
I apologize for interrupting, but Your Honor, I don't know that right now I don't know that the issue is right. The state has a position regarding the indictment itself going back to the jury, but I don't want to get bogged down addressing it, if that's all right with the court. Not at this point.
Okay, I mean, I don't necessarily need to take it up right now. I mean, but there is the issue of whether or not it'll go back or not. But I don't need to take that up now necessarily. So, Mr. Steele, are you comfortable with that, or I mean, we can take it up at some point in time if in fact it's going to be if we need, because I'm going to have discussions about which documents go with the jury and which do not, which are subject to continuing witness objections and other bases.
I understand.
Okay, all right. Okay, Mr. Harvey? Okay, all right. Anybody else have anything else I need to take up with you all? Okay, all right. All right, unless you all have anything else at this point in time, then what I'll do is I'll recess you all till tomorrow. And if you all would be here for 12:30 for an anticipated 1 o'clock start time, we can go ahead and, like I said, we'll work tomorrow afternoon around a little before 5 o'clock. All right, okay, unless there's anything else, we'll be in recess until that time. All right, we're in recess. You're welcome.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the conclusion of today's trial against Young Thug, Yacht Gotti, and other defendants. And it got kind of heated towards the end. The judge, of course, ruled in favor of the prosecutors as it relates to the evidence or referencing being made by the agent Racy as it relates to whether or not YSL is a gang and whether or not that was referenced in the indictment. But the preamble, according to the judge, referenced it as a subset of the Bloods gang. So we have to see. We have to see what goes back to the jurors. And it's kind of premature to talk about what's going back to the jurors when we're not even, I say we, when the prosecutors are not even down to 100 witnesses. They still got about 125, 130 witnesses to call. So to discuss what's going back to the jurors right now is kind of premature because this trial may last another 12 months. Who knows? You see, we have us members at the press have a week off from May 24th. Well, I gotta look at the dates. I asked people to write it down. I asked you in the comment section to write it down. But the jurors will be out for an entire week, and they will be back towards the end of the month, starting next week. So this is interesting. We'll see how that plays out. If you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section, please ask your questions now or forever hold your peace. I don't have to read your admonitions. You know what the rules are. Be respectful. Make sure you share the platform, and make sure you tell a friend that we are here and we're going to bring you blow by blow of what's happening in the YSL trial. We might have a special guest joining us sometime this week to assist me in the commentary of this most interesting trial involving one of the biggest names in hip hop. And we want to do our recap. We want to talk about some of the testimony and see if, in fact, these defendants are getting a fair shake in the courtroom. 1C, Judge Glanville's court. As I scroll the various platforms, I see we have no questions. And if we have no questions, don't ask about Ike. I can bring Ike up soon. Don't worry about Ike right now. I can bring up soon. We'll do a recap together. If you guys really want Ike back, we'll do a recap together, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. With that said, I do appreciate everybody coming in. You know, this is obviously the conclusion of today. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed the coverage. And we will be back. We will be back. With that said, good night.